The last concept related to building ERDs, conforming to crow's foot notation, is that of a generalization hierarchy. And this is, I believe, slide 13, which represents a collection of entities organized in a hierarchical structure, as is shown on the right side of the slide. Um, it looks kind of like an org chart. The key concept is that of inheritance, where a subtype, child, okay, inherits all the attributes of the supertype or parent, okay, entities, but also includes its own specific attributes, like these guys down here. For example, customer supertype parent entity has a list of attributes that are in common to both retail customer and account customer subtype or child entities, and those are the customer ID, last name, and first name. Okay, each of whom, okay, the child entities has additional entity specific attributes like credit card info for retail customer, and I don't know, company account limit, net pay, and things that are related to wholesale or account customers. Okay, so let's start a new blank ERD. Okay, and let's call it immediately ERD 10. I'm sorry, ERD 5 underscore 10. And what the name? Gen underscore hierarch customer or something to that effect. Okay. And then let's add a customer entity. Okay. Customer entity. It's a new customer entity. Okay. Make sure to identify it as a super type. Okay. With attributes that I've shown on the screen, which are the customer ID as a primary key, and then a couple of more that are in common, which are again last name and first name. Okay, so let's close and close that. Then we're going to add new two new subtype or child entities. First one being retail cust. Okay, with the following attributes. It's going to be credit card number, and expiration dates we've seen plenty of times before. Okay, and then another one is going to be account cust. Okay, with the following attributes: company account number, account limit, and net pay, which determines how fast bills need to be paid. Okay, now we're going to go back to customer. Okay, we're going to position these guys, and for the customer, we're going to include both of these guys as subtypes, and going to make them both of them, we're going to make them disjoint incomplete. Disjoint means that they don't have anything in common. All right, the account and retail customers are completely disjoint. They don't have any attributes in common. They have nothing to do with each other, and they're complete in that there is no third option, which is, I don't know, online customer in this case. Although there could be. Okay, and that's going to insert these letters D and C, and it's going to create a hierarchy as described on the on the slide. Now we'll save this, we'll close, and then we'll switch back to the presentation, and then we're going to take this just one step further. Right, we talked about disjointness, okay, where the subtypes have nothing in common. I already said that. Completeness: every supertype entity must be an entity in one of the subtypes. In other words, there is no other option. And then multiple levels of generalization. So here the securities break into stock and bond, right? So the stock and bond are disjointed. They have nothing in common. Okay, they're complete because there is no third option. In reality, there is. And then there's a multiple level of generalization, which is creating, which is splitting stocks into common and preferred, but some of their own specific attributes, again, disjoint and complete for same reasons as before. So let us open another blank diagram. Okay, save it as ERD5 underscore 11 underscore what is it, gen hierarchy, and then security. Okay, and then we'll quickly create security, which is a super type. Okay, with the following attributes: symbol, which is a primary key. Then we got the name of the security and the closing price. Okay, so that shows up at the top. You're going to have to probably make this a little narrower and longer. Let's include the first two subtypes, which are stock, okay, with the following two attributes: shares, okay, and price, okay, and then another entity called bond, but its two attributes, which are coupon, which is the interest rate, and price as well. Which I suppose could have been under security, but there are different types of prices, different pricing formulas, and so forth. Not quite sure why it's not included up in the at the top of the hierarchy. Okay, and then we're going to close these guys, and then we're going to double click on security and add these guys as subtypes that are disjoint and complete. And then we're going to repeat this one more time by adding two new entities, which is the common stock with attributes called dividend, and PE, price earnings ratio. Okay, and then the final entity, preferred stock, with attributes such as the call price and dividend as well. And again, it's a special type of dividend, so it's probably kept separately. I'm going to stick these under the stock entity, and then the stock entity has to be made in super type. Okay, and it's going to be super type for the common and preferred stocks. Okay, and it's also disjointed and complete in the sense that we described, which then gets us finally the generalization hierarchy from the slide, which I believe is number 14. So we'll save it, we'll close it, we'll switch back to the presentation and pause.